Welcome aboard. We're going nautical in this episode of Aldea. I'm going to set up the city's first ferry line. It'll be a short little hop across the inner harbor between Havel and Lavoy. To make it happen, we're going to build some ferry terminals. I've downloaded some custom terminals from the Steam workshop, and we're going to get them situated on the waterfront. So grab a ticket, and let's go! So, it turns out the future is now. Rather than waiting to do that ferry connection, I've decided I'm going to go ahead now because it'll be easier to build it without a developed waterfront than it will be to come along after the fact and try and fit it in. So what we're going to do, I'm still planning the main ferry connection to be Havel over to downtown when downtown's built. But you know what? A little kind of smaller boat connection across between Havel and Lavoy, I think that that's actually viable, and that might actually take some of the pressure off our Havel-Cures bus route, which is one of our busier ones there. Give folks another option rather than going across one of our two bridges. So, let's build a ferry terminal, and I've downloaded some custom ones that I like the look of, so I think that's what we're going to try. Here we go. I like this set. They're based off Sydney, Australia. And I don't see Lavoy, like, why would you run a ferry from Lavoy to downtown when they're on the same side of the water, right? That doesn't make any sense. So we're not going to put... I only ever see there being one route coming into Lavoy, because it's also not going to be in the main hub. So I think this smaller size ferry terminal will be perfectly fine for this side of the harbor. I think I have to place this and then mess with it. Oh, I guess one thing I should think about. It probably should be up over here, because this is where we're going to put our schools. We probably want to be closer to there, in case anyone wants to ferry over from the other side to go to school on this side. Something like that. We'll get rid of that one. So on this side, on the Havel side, I foresee us having two routes going into it, the Lavoy side and then the Havel to downtown. So a larger wharf with two sides to it. I guess they all have two sides, but a larger wharf is more appropriate, I think, here. I think we'll go with this. Want to orient it so it's not going to interfere with the marina. Maybe actually it might be easier if I wonder if I just turn snapping off. Well, I'll probably do what I'm trying to here. And not have that jump to the stub there, and I think node snapping, if I turn that off here. Alright, let's go back and try this again, see what we can do for maneuvering it. Yeah, that's less annoying. I kind of want it here, but pointing straight out, so I think that's going to mean some terraforming or landscaping. You need to cut into the shoreline a little bit here. This is why I was thinking, it was like, you know what, I should do this now. We made it a little too... we took away too much of the land. This is why I was thinking I should do this now, because doing this when I have paths and parks and everything else is just so much more messy. All right, let's see how that works. Oh, now there. I think that's the one right there. Okay, so we have a terminal. Gonna have to get rid of all this stuff over here and rebuild. This is just a parking lot road. I mean, the idea originally this is the marina parking lot, and this is like the marina clubhouse right there. And so this wouldn't really be a street that kind of goes anywhere, but now it suddenly will. Maybe I'll just do that. All right, I have to turn snap back on. Didn't like that for a moment. And then we'll come and we'll, I want that to stay on the ground. There. There's enough, we can fine tune that a bit. Oh, suddenly I just realized that's a people gatherer thing when this was originally Park Nature Shore. Still sitting there in the road. We're not doing that anymore. Circumstances have changed. There's one of those kind of stray cars. Okay. Terminal on this side is well connected. Over here, has no water, has no power, and it's sitting in the shallows. I guess that's as close as you can kind of get. We'll have to deepen the water, I think, is probably what we need to do. If that is indeed where we want it. I'm happy about that one. How we ended up fitting that in the end. Much better use of this site than the old water pump that was in this location. I'm not 100% certain about this. We want it near the road because we want folks who are on the bus to be able to get to it easily. We also want it where we're going to put the schools. So the logical place would be better to put it here, but then the schools are a little ways away. Most kids are young and fit, right? So maybe they can walk. And then we could come off the street with a little loop and maybe join back on this one, because that one feels a little, cutting it a little close. Suppose we could just join on up there. That's a major intersection. Already, we're always going to have traffic lights there. Huh. What's that look like? Janky is all anything. Oh, but it didn't take much to undo that. I'll have to fix up our intersection markings and what do we need to do? No, we don't need that. We need to change. People are gonna cut through it, really? That's dumb. Well, based on that, I'll go over there and reset this. That's why we can't have nice things right there, because they will drive them. They will drive through them. Well, this guy. I guess he's just coming to turn around. It kind of turned out funny. Must have some setting off that's messing with things. Oops, and now I've accidentally demolished the road in its entirety. That's okay. Maybe it's collision that it should be on. Maybe some node surgery. And it's just this guy overlapping, isn't it? Drag the corner. I don't quite know why it's behaving like that. What if we just do square it? It's like it doesn't know that. Do I have two nodes sitting there? Maybe that's my problem. I do! Bloody nodes. Let's remove that one. Boom. It now works. I'll have to change up my intersection markings. And, you know, I'm going to take away the speed on this little ferry access because people are far too comfortable shortcutting through for my liking. Has water. Must be just, yeah. Oh well, we'll put in some power lines just for now. I suspect once we build this area out, we probably won't need this power line, but for now. Now, we were going to see about adjusting some of the shoreline in here. Ferry would probably like some deep water to work with. Deeper, anyway. So let's turn the speed up here, see how that settles. I think that's pretty decent. Didn't really check the height of these things, whether it was reasonable. I think that's okay. One thing I see in, a lot of people's builds in this game is they don't situate their because the game doesn't do you any favors for the most part. Like, you build next to the shore, everything ends up way too high up. But this one looks well situated over there, and I think this one is okay. It feels like maybe it's a little high. I think I could fix that fairly easily just by taking kind of nodes of this whole thing and lowering it down. Yeah, that's all right. This is a bit of a jog. Probably should raise this one and set the node. I think this is where I do that. Slope. Perfect. Everyone's using it for parking. I guess because you can't park out there with the bike lanes. Oh, we've got a bus jam there. Hope that's not something I caused. Oh, I bet you the front one has got a bunching error. Yep. Sometimes seems to happen when you modify things. Pain in the butt. Jammed up the whole route. Okay, so we've got 2 ferry terminals. Now I'm going to go over here and turn on the ferry depot that I put in as a placeholder ages back. They're upset that they don't have any water. We can fix that. So we've got that. Now, I think I can go ahead and put in a ferry. So we want to go from Havel over to the little stop over on this side. Oh, yeah, I haven't used these all that much. I need to draw a boat path first. I need some dredging out there in the middle. There. And the path also has to go to the depot for it to populate lines. Oh, I have to turn off collision. And in the future, this can also double as our ferry route over to downtown. Create line. And then back to Havel. I want to select the vehicle. I don't want pleasure steamers probably. I think that one, or maybe that. They're both 50 and small. It's a little too small. I'm gonna try this one. No, that's the pleasure steamer. We don't want that. That's the one that it tried to pick for that route, which really wouldn't be a good looking fit. So, there's the one. Oh, that's perfectly sized. Look at that. It's not too big. Just a relatively modest boat. Is there anybody waiting to use it yet? Not yet. I'll go on this side. I wonder if I've set something up incorrectly along here where nobody's using it. Might have to tinker with this. These can be finicky. Okay, so I think I have this problem solved, or at least I think I know how to do and what the problem is. It was a classic picnic problem. Problem in chair, not in computer. And so what I've figured out from going to Roger's Steam Workshop page, Roger being the fellow who created this asset, he had a good explanation as to all the ferries in game, the boats dock on the inside, his dock on the outside. He had to use the other ferry terminals, the vanilla ones, as templates. And so they're oriented wrong. The passengers aren't using this because they need to get on and off on this side, which is on the wrong side. There is a way to fix this, and so we're going to just do that now in hopes that this is going to set things right. So we need to go into the ferry window here, get out, move it, and then it's hold Alt and Shift to select. Oh, actually, I should delete I'm going to just get this out of the way for now so that we're only dragging those. I might not have to, but I don't want to complicate things. So Alt to select the nodes and Shift, and then we're going to drag this over to there, and then we're going to get this one. We're just reversing them, and then we're going to drag. Oops, I got the segment, and then we're going to drag this one over to here. I think it's okay to hug the wharf. All right, so we've got that one in place, and now we're going to do the same with this one. Oops. Undo that. Oh, a little out of my element here. There. Okay, so we've now got that in place. So now let's reconnect our ferry route. And see if it works. There goes the boat. See if anyone comes to use the ferry now. Maybe I should check. Yeah, the route is working. Oh, I think someone got off there. And that does look like people waiting. Yeah, there's two of them waiting there. Okay, so that is, although I think I need to adjust. I need to make another adjustment to that just based on where they're waiting. But that was the missing piece. So that's how this asset works. It requires a little extra step of fiddling to make the thing work. We're going to shift this. Okay, they're now on the right side of the barrier. So we should do the same to the other one. But I think that sure looks like it has fixed it. We have people piling up on the wharf to ferry over to the other side. In fact, that was a full boat going out. And two people had to stay behind. All right, I'm going to call that a success. We have a working ferry for the first time in Aldea. How's it going on this side? A little bit more of a hop to get on and off, but it looks like 50 going back the other direction. So it's pretty much the boat's moving at capacity for the most part. There are 50 waiting over there already. Not yet, but it looks like it will be close to 50 by the time the boat gets here. That's great. I'm really glad that that was sorted because, I mean, this is a gorgeous ferry dock. So much better than the game default. Although maybe, I mean, the real one that is based on is in Sydney, Australia. So maybe not the most climate appropriate sort of facility for, you know, a place that has winter. But I just like its mass and scale. Okay, so it's going to leave a few people behind here that are going to have to wait for the next trip. Have to keep an eye on that. Probably going to need two boats as we fill in even more over here. That's not going to last too long. That one boat will be sufficient. This is going to be a two-boat route. All right, I'm going to put a little cut here as I then sort out what do I do next. I think it's... All right, so I think our next thing is we need to make this actually feel like a waterfront. I think we need to adjust the bus stop up here and this fencing, and we probably need to think about a connection down to that. So some kind of ferry adjacent work to do. We need to change the elevation of this road so that the ferry is level. So we're going to do that same thing where we use Alt to select. Why is that not working? There we go. So we're going to raise the road so that it's level with the ferry. Alright, so this side is a little bit shorter. Well, that's no problem. There. Now the ferry is walk on, walk off. But how much of the waterfront do we want to raise to kind of match that? Kind of got a lot, a lot over here, but we could adjust that. It wouldn't be the end of the world. Oh, probably should leave well enough alone, actually. Enough to raise the wharf just slightly. This side we could raise it up though. Magic car. Why take the ferry when you could just fly in your magic car there? Oh, there's a second one of them. Alright, so we'll ignore that for now. I'm going to take out this fencing. I have since learned to do this kind of stuff with the intersection marking tool anyway. Oh, nope, that one's the same. I think I'll keep the bendy pieces. That's one thing the marking tool doesn't do a great job of. So we're going to move the bus stop. Move the bus stop over to here. And I think we should, you know what, we should put a protected bike lane down there. I forgot what I have to do to be able to upgrade that piece. So I know you can. Maybe we'll just leave it. It's kind of okay. It's in front of the ferry, so. So there's where the bike lane's going to come in, because I feel like you'd want a good connection by bike to the ferry terminal. We want this down here instead of the boulevards. If we do it this way, I can use the intersection marking tool just to draw the bike lane in on there. And then I don't have to mess with that. Let's do it that way. So over here we've got a whole wharf thing, but I'm thinking here maybe we'll just carry on the breakwater piece. Oops. Stay down on the ground. Oh shoot, I drew that on the wrong side, so the lights are on the wrong side. I have to come from... Although up here, I did it the other way, so we're going to merge the difference right here. Merge it from this side. There. So I got lamps, water side up there, and then street side up here. That's fine. And I think with this road, I'm using street light number 1. You know what? I think we'll go ahead and do that too. So we're going to redo our bike lanes here with, instead of the big giant highway lamp, we're going to do street lamp number 1. That's the standard that I've been working with. And now let's take a look at we've got some work to do in the intersection marking tool. Oh, there's actually a fair bit right here. I think we'll leave this dashed, because the idea is that here is actually a shared space where cyclists and vehicles are going to be competing for space somewhat. As people drop off and pull their car out of their pocket and drive away. I'm going to just copy that, since this is kind of a custom sort of job. I'm gonna have to see if I can set no parking. Well, I suppose it's kind of realistic. People do park in bike lanes. Not that they should, but they do it. Part of why protecting the bike lanes matters. So people stop parking in them. Look, cop right there. Write a ticket. Okay, now we're going to have to go back and fix our fillers. Too bad there wasn't a way, maybe there is and I just don't know it, to have this not in that crosswalk, but extending over this space too. That's kind of beyond me. Let's see if I can turn off parking inside. Oh, I can. Get out of the bike lanes. That would be no parking, but you could stop and drop off. Kiss and go, as they sometimes call it. All right, so that's looking pretty good. Now we need some, oh, actually I should do up here. As long as I'm doing intersection marking. That's pretty close. Again, curse you, Paradox, for not using the same color green in all the spots. I think that feels about right. Set it back a little bit more. Up here we need some repair. I should have added that as a rule. There. So now we just make this solid. So then it can be both things on that line. I think these ones we'll just get rid of. It'll be easier to start from scratch. There. That's pretty good. Can't have the bollards in front of the bike, or sorry, in front of the bus stop, so we gotta fix that. There. But we now can have bollards over here. Perfect. Do I have a preset for? I do, based on previous episode, older. Oh, except we don't need the fence. There. I had a preset all along that was a road without the fence. Oh, we actually need a crosswalk on this side too, I'd say. I mean, I could put crosswalks here, I guess. Don't really want them, but my alternative is that they stay as blank space, so maybe I will. Maybe it's the... You know what? I'll take the gaps over the excessive crosswalks. Which one's the one? Get rid of that one. Well, people actually are using it. Maybe we'll get rid of the other one. And then ban them from using that one. I'll leave it for now. So breakwater. These, nope, they're a different one. I think those are the same. Breakwater, I would say, necessary here because of all the wakes, the wake from the ferry boats. At least that's probably would be the situation in real life. Intersection marking tool again. This time we'll use our wide paths. A little jagged. Bring it in, does it straighten out? Yes. That's not going to be an easy to resolve. There's going to be some gaps there that I'm going to have to manually fill in because it doesn't like that spacing. You know what? It doesn't like it because I clicked those individually. So we're going to do that again. But we're going to just make it as all one interconnected piece, like so. And then we're going to do it again to get the lights on the water side. Now I think when we put the fence in, I think this will now work in the way that I want it to. And it does. Nice thing about doing the fences with intersection marking tool is... Oh shoot, why did that happen? Alright, well maybe I won't mess... Okay, well that's interesting. Alright, well we'll move the rocks then instead. Over here the rocks are nicely on the water side, just needed those adjustments. Actually, you know what? I'll leave that. That's the gap to go down the beach. Also so happens that then it makes my life easier, but, you know, sometimes that's how she rolls. Okay, and we want this to be park fencing, which jumps out to where it's supposed to be because we've done this before. And I'm gonna wait on applying that because I'm gonna mess with this. I'd like to get a route down, given that this is the bus stop and there's the ferry terminal down there. I'm thinking that that would be a pretty significant spot. It would be worth it to have the direct connection rather than expecting everyone to walk around. So let's see what we can do with that. Let's make this kind of wide to start with. Okay, this sometimes can be kind of messy. So we want this to be elevated. You know what? I think it'll go better if I start down here. It wants to snap to a node there. That's not too bad if we take the height down, of course. Take the kind of jog out of this one so it's just straight down. Now we'll put these on the ground and we'll run them between the two crosswalks. Or between the 4 crosswalks. I'm seeing double, 4 crosswalks. There. This has become quite the hub. We'll cut the speed limit down here too. I'm not seeing a lot of cars using it as a cut through. You know, that's not this road's intended purpose. Parking for the marina. It's access to the ferry. Well, the last thing to do for the ferry on the Havel Avenue side of the harbour is to fix the landing look-off. That will require a lot of fine detailing work, so I think I'll tackle that next time. If you've enjoyed this episode, don't forget to like and subscribe. I'm always open to feedback in the comments. Thanks for watching. I think the best way to close out here would be to follow the ferry across the harbour.